Have you ever thought that social media, those harmless posts and photos that you scroll through absent-mindedly every day, could hide the most devastating truth of your life? What if you discovered the secret that your partner has been hiding from you for months on Instagram? Before you find out, subscribe to the channel now and activate the bell so you don't miss the next content. Now, let's get into the story. Claudia and Marco seemed like the perfect image of couple happiness. 5 years of relationship, romantic trips to exotic places, elegant dinners, and relaxing weekends in the most exclusive resorts. If you scrolled through their Instagram profile, they seemed like the kind of couple from the movies, always impeccable, always smiling. But real life is often very different from the images we share online, and for Claudia, this would become painfully obvious. Claudia had never been one of those people obsessed with social media. Sure, she posted photos every now and then, a few selfies with Marco during the holidays, or when they celebrated something special. But all that was about to change. Her perception of social media was about to be turned upside down by a detail so subtle that it could seem insignificant, but that would completely change her life. One day, it all started with a seemingly innocent observation. While browsing Instagram on the couch at home, Claudia noticed a new follower among Marco's followers. Sylvia. Claudia didn't notice it at first, but the name stuck in her mind. Sylvia had one of those cryptic bios that sometimes intrigue you. Lover of life and sunsets. And yet, there was something strange. Sylvia had started liking almost every post of Marco's and commenting with vaguely affectionate phrases. "You're always number one," she wrote under a recent photo. It was just a compliment, right? Maybe. From that moment on, every time she opened Instagram, Claudia noticed Sylvia's presence. It was like a shadow that silently crept into her mind. But that wasn't the only thing that had started to bother Claudia. Marco had changed too. He spent more and more time on his phone, and every time Claudia approached, he quickly closed the screen, as if he were hiding something. He said it was just work, and she, at first, believed it. But one night, after Marco lied for the umpteenth time about having to go out for an impromptu work meeting, Claudia decided to dig deeper. Her gut told her something was fishy, and Marco's evasive behavior only fueled her suspicions. In a world where almost everything can be tracked and discovered online, Claudia knew an answer might be hidden right there, on Instagram. She spent hours looking at Sylvia and Marco's profiles, scrolling through photos and looking for some connection. She noticed that Sylvia often posted photos in places that seemed very familiar. One in particular caught her attention, a cocktail bar in the city center. It was the place Marco had told her he had never been. And yet, in one of Sylvia's stories, there was a detail that made Claudia freeze. In the background, blurry but recognizable, there was him, Marco, laughing with a group of friends. The photo had been taken a few days earlier, when Marco had told her he was in a meeting out of town. Claudia felt a cold shiver run through her body. It couldn't be a coincidence. Coincidences, in these cases, rarely are. In recent years, social media has dramatically changed the way people interact and build relationships. On the one hand, it allows us to connect with more people, but on the other, it makes privacy increasingly blurred. Many cheating incidents have been discovered through social media. A survey conducted by Cyberpsychology and Behavior Journal found that over 20% of respondents admitted to being caught cheating because of a post or story on social media. It's the new reality of modern relationships. If you lie, you'll probably be found out, and often because of what you share. Claudia's curiosity turned into obsession. She began to notice that Sylvia and Marco had many other things in common: friends, places they frequented, even some events. She decided not to stop there. With a fake profile she had just created, Claudia began to follow both Marco and Sylvia. She wanted to know more, to find out everything. Now it was no longer just a question of curiosity, but of emotional survival. And it was thanks to that fake profile that she discovered the true face of betrayal. One day, Sylvia posted a series of stories from a party Marco had said he hadn't gone to. This time, there weren't just blurry photos. No, this time there was a short video. Sylvia was in the car, laughing and joking, while the camera moved to the passenger next to her. And there, without a doubt, Marco's face appeared clearly on the screen. He was laughing too, unaware that the story would destroy his relationship. Claudia felt a knot in her stomach. There was no doubt left, no other possible explanation. Marco was cheating on her, and he was doing it so blatantly, almost as if he thought he would never be found out. But Claudia was not a woman who would be easily swayed. She decided to approach the situation intelligently and calmly. She would not act on impulse. No, she wanted to be sure of how she would handle the matter. In the weeks that followed, Claudia played her own game. She continued to act normally with Marco, hiding her pain behind a smile. But in the meantime, she was preparing the ground for what would be the moment of her revenge. Claudia had become a skilled digital investigator. She had learned to uncover hidden details, to read between the lines, and she knew she had to wait for the perfect moment to act. The term catfishing describes the creation of a fake online identity to deceive or spy on someone. More and more people are using this technique to discover infidelity or suspicious behavior in their partners. According to research conducted by Global Web Index, 12% of social media users admitted to creating a fake account to spy on a partner or ex-partner. Although it may seem like an extreme practice, it is an increasingly common reality in the digital world. The turning point came one evening when Marco invited her to dinner with his friends. Ironically, Sylvia would also be there. Claudia accepted the invitation, already knowing what she would do. They arrived at the restaurant. Everything seemed normal. The friends laughed, joked, and Claudia, with her apparent calm, waited for the right moment. Before revealing this intriguing ending, we ask you to give this video a nice like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss out on all our next incredible stories of deception and betrayal. When everyone was relaxed, Claudia stood up, took her phone, and with a cold smile asked, "Do you want to see a funny story?" Without waiting for an answer, she showed everyone the video of Marco in the car with Sylvia. The silence that fell on the group was deafening. Marco went pale, awkwardly trying to justify himself, while Sylvia remained speechless, visibly embarrassed. But here's the real twist. What Marco and Sylvia didn't know is that, for weeks, Claudia had been recording Marco's conversations and collecting evidence of the betrayal, photos, messages, videos. And on the evening of the dinner, Claudia didn't just show the video. She had prepared a collage of all the moments in which Marco and Sylvia had met secretly. The presentation scrolled on the screen of her phone like a cold chronicle of the betrayal. That night, Marco lost not only Claudia, but also the respect of his friends and his reputation. Sylvia? She disappeared from everyone's life, as if she had never existed. Claudia left the restaurant without saying a word, knowing she had taken control of the situation. She was hurt, yes, but not defeated. And most of all, she knew that social media, which had once only shown a sugar-coated version of her life, had given her the strength to discover the truth.